thank you very much. I'm privileged to be the keynote speaker here tonight. Yes, it's a joke. This is true Esha Torah fashion. Shimon asks, hey, do you think we should make a Siyum? I say, hey, great idea. He says, okay, you're speaking. All right, here I am. Baruch Hashem. But it turns out I love Daf Yomi. I do believe I mentioned it last year in this exact room. Perhaps I was standing over there. Daf Yomi is very important. It's vitally important to the Jewish people. I think it's the biggest Achdus project in Klal Yisrael. And so if you're all about Achdus, you got to be doing the Daf, because it's every day, all day. The Jewish people are on the same page, even when you're not on the same page exactly. But you're always working towards that Achdus, and I think it's the greatest thing. And I really love doing it. I do it with Rav Eli Stefanski, which is online, MDY, Merchas Daf Yomi. Tomorrow I'll be attending my very first in-person shiur with them in Ramat Beit Shemesh. Wow. And I'm very excited about it. I've been with them since Shabbos. Did brachas before, but since Shabbos in this cycle. So I'm very excited about it. So let's jump into a little more content here. Is that, get this, I'm going to explain to you tonight what a dishwasher has to do with our Masechta. So I have a dishwasher. You probably have a dishwasher in your home too. It's a great weapon for to break glass and such. My dishwasher, my wife was convinced for months and months and months and months that our dishwasher doesn't work properly. And I kind of thought, I'm going to ignore this topic because it means I'm going to be spending a lot of money soon. So I ignored it for as long as I could. And then finally, I think I probably did something wrong. And I was like, hey, great time to buy a new dishwasher. Get out of it a little bit. And so my wife goes and she finds a deal on this. And of course, if you find a deal on that, you find a deal on a new microwave. And if you find a deal on that, you find a deal on a new oven, which, we needed. Our oven actually broke. You use it a lot, it breaks. So here we are. We're getting new appliances. Great. Okay, weeks go by, the appliances get delivered, the team comes and does the installation. And during the installation, they take out the dishwasher and they say, oh my goodness, look at this. Now that's not what you want to hear when they take the dishwasher out. And so what happened was, behind the dishwasher is the outlet. And they realized that 3 other appliances were plugged in through the dishwasher, and which is not the way you wire things for any of electricians out there. And it was plugged into a plug that was the wrong amperage for it. And what did they find? They found singed wires and a singed wall. We had a major fire hazard in our home. Now I'm all about safety. I really am. And to find, when you buy a house, and we've been in this house for, 16 years. When you buy a house, you don't pull out the dishwasher to see if they have the proper amperage on the plug and if things are plugged in properly. You just don't do it. This is not even for the most safety conscious people. This is not something you do. But here it is. I had a major fire hazard, and I probably would have had a fire. Could have been catastrophic. And so I thought about it a little bit, and automatically, boom, it sprung into my mind. There's a vort that they say that there was a man who had big, lavish parties for his community. A really beautiful, wonderful thing. And he was well known for it. And he was wealthy, and he spread the wealth. He had tons and tons of people, and it was really a spectacular thing whenever he would do it. And his house burned down. And the community was up in arms. How could it be that this man's house, who did so much for the community, how could it be that his house would burn down? And so somebody came along, a chacham came along and said, I know why his house burnt down. He said, we have this thing called the Eshel Avraham. What's the Eshel Avraham? Avraham Avinu, of course, was known for his love and kindness. He was known for helping people, taking them into his home, providing food, providing drink, all these wonderful things. And so what the Eshel Avraham, what does the Eshel stand for? Aleph, Achila, he would feed them. Shin, Shtia, right? That he would give them something to drink. And the Lamed, some people say Lina, that he gave them a place to sleep. Others say Leviah, that he would walk his guests out. And that was the thing with this man, with everything that he did, is he would give them food and he would give them drink, but he never walked them out. And that last thing, when you walk your guests out at the end of the night, that's how you really show them that you really wanted them there. It's like Elias Laregel on that last night of Sukkot. This year it ties in. But that Hashem holds us back on Shmini Atzeres, that we should have that one more day with him. And so if you take Eshel and you take the Aleph and the Shin and you remove the Lamed, what are you left with? You're left with Esh. And that's why his house burned down. And so I told this to me immediately. I was like, it's the Kiruv. It's the Kiruv that we've done all these years. It's the guest that we've had all these years. It's the guest that we've walked out at the end of the night and done the Hurwitz Huddle outside in the street. For those of you who know what the Hurwitz Huddle is. That's why our house didn't burn down. And so, as my illustrious son is here, and I call him up, he's here in Eretz Yisrael. He's here in Eretz Yisrael, and I told him that boy. And so, because he's such a good boy, Baruch Hashem, he told his Rebbe the boy. And his Rebbe said, wait a second, that's not what I thought you were going to say. Emes? Yeah. His Rebbe said, there's a Gemara, Daf Nun Amud Aleph and Bava Kama. He said, and this is what I thought you were going to say. There was somebody by the name of Nechunya. And Nechunya's job here in Eretz Yisrael in Jerusalem was that when the Oilei Regel would go and come up for the Elias Laregel, he would dig wells everywhere and make sure everybody had water and what they needed all along the way. And so the Gemara goes on and tells a Maisa, and I'm just holding it for effect, but I'm on the right page. The Gemara goes and it tells a Maisa about Nechunya's daughter. And Nechunya's daughter fell into a well. And the townspeople ran over to Reb Chanina ben Daisa. And they said, Reb Chanina ben Daisa, you have to daven, you have to tell us something, you have to help. Nechunya's daughter fell into the well. And he said, for the first hour, Reb Chanina ben Daisa just said, Shalom. He says, it's going to be all right. Second hour goes by. Shalom. It's going to be all right. By the third hour, they came to him. And he said, Alsa, she's up. She's not there anymore. He said, how could you know? So they went to her and they asked her. She emerged. And they said to her, what happened? And she said, this man with an animal, they pulled me out. Something happened. And so they go back to Chanina ben Dosa and they say, Chanina ben Dosa, are you a Navi? How could you possibly know that she didn't drown? How could you possibly know that she wasn't dead in the well? Chanina ben Dosa says, I'm not a Navi. My father wasn't a Navi. He says, but when you help the klal in such a way, your children won't perish from the way that you help the klal. And Nechunya was a well digger. He was the person that provided water. His daughter's not going to drown. And so what's the connection? How come the Wiener family wouldn't have a fire? That Moshe's Rebbe understood. I'm getting there. It's because of who my father was. One second. One second. I'm getting there. Thank you. That's the whiskey? Yeah. You're trying to kill me? Ilum. Shahakom Miro.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay. My father was a fireman all his life. My father helped the community all his life. That's what he's all about. So his children aren't going to die by fire. And that's what the Gemara is teaching us. The Gemara in Bava Kama is taking a dishwasher and the fire it could have potentially caused. And it's showing us very clearly that if we want to take care, we're going to take care of Hashem's people. And take care of our children. Hashem's going to take care of our children too. This is a lesson that Reb Noach taught me a long time ago when I asked him, why should I go out into Chutz La'aretz? He says, you take care of Hashem's children, Hashem takes care of your children.
Go ahead.